Oh, hi Murdis. Welcome back. Can you see anything on the stream at the moment? Seems like we're having some issues, so I'll just quickly double check what's going on. Oh, that's awesome. Hi Murdis, how are you? Did you have a nice break? I've been having a lot of buffering issues today, so had to sort all of that out earlier. Hopefully it doesn't stuff the stream up too much. Just gonna add a little bit more rough edges to her hair over here so it looks like it's blowing in the wind. I always enjoy when I get to start adding in the details and everything. Murders, fine. Enjoyed my time with grandparents, yeah. Listened to a lot of old stories, cooked together with them, etc. Aw, that's awesome. Sounds lovely. Murders, what about you? How's the day been treating you? Yeah, no, I had a really good evening. Had dinner while you were gone, I guess, so that was nice. And yeah, then I just did some boring stuff, replied some emails and everything, so gotta get that out of the way as well. Hopefully tomorrow is not as busy though. Definitely keen for a nice relaxing day. So I've been looking up some different references for clothing for her, trying to see what kinds of ones I can give her. I actually wanted to order a cosplay wand at some point, because yeah, I'm planning to go to Oz Comic Con here in Adelaide soon, so yeah, hopefully COVID doesn't stuff that up as well, because that will be super fun. My family and I tend to go to that every year, so yeah, it would be awesome if we could go again. There it is. Buffering came back. Oh no, that sucks. Is it okay at the moment? Because I'm not seeing any errors on my end. Also, for a second, I thought the piglet had a mini broom in its mouth. No, unfortunately not. He's not helping to do the housework anytime soon, but yeah, no, he's got a mini wand in his mouth over there, so yeah, hopefully he's all happy. Unfortunately, I don't think the wand is in safe hands with him. Who knows what kinds of, things he'll pull off with that wand if he's successful. Murders, Comic Con. None of that here. Well, that's a shame. Cons are not that big in Adelaide. They tend to be a lot bigger in the States, I think, and apparently they're bigger in Sydney as well. So I'm obviously from Adelaide in Australia, so it's quite a small town. Not a lot going on here. We don't have a very big city, but at least it means not a lot of traffic, although to me it feels like it's heaps. So I don't know how I'd ever live in a huge city. I think it would drive me insane. Meredith, well, a mini broom would be nice too. The piglet would want to fly too. Piggy Quidditch. Indeed, exactly. Maybe I'll do another one with a flying piggy. Have the both of them on their vehicles, I guess. Suppose we'll see. There we go. So I've been trying to add some, I guess, more ambient music along to the soundtrack, and also so that I can post it to YouTube hopefully afterwards without getting too many errors. That would be lovely. I did actually want to set up something so that everyone could play around with the music on their own. That would be fun. Murders. I don't think cons are a big thing in Europe. Oh, really? That's strange. What, do you guys have different places that artists can showcase their stuff though? Because I imagine it's pretty big over there. Murders. I don't think. What's the population of your home city? I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure it's definitely a lot smaller than any towns in Europe would be. But yeah, you're welcome to Google the population in Adelaide, Australia. I'm not quite sure what it is. Murders. Living without errors is lovely indeed. Exactly. Although technology does love giving us a bunch of those, so that's always awesome. Can't get rid of it. I've noticed over the past, I guess, past year that I started styling my character's eyes a lot differently. So yeah, been really trying to focus on what I'm doing with my character's style, trying to keep them all consistent and everything. So hopefully I can make them a little bit more recognizable. Murders, Adelaide, written like that? Yes, that's exactly it. So if you just type in Adelaide, South Australia, that should get you there. I'm not quite sure what the population would be, but yeah, it's definitely a lot smaller than any of the states in the rest of Australia. So murders 1.3 million. That's almost the same as the whole Estonian population. Oh wow, that's crazy. So you definitely do know what it feels like to live isolated then. That's a lot different than over here. So for me, this is already small, but I'm sure for you it would be quite crowded. It is nice though, living in areas that aren't too populated. I sometimes feel like it's already too crowded over here and wish we could just move to the middle of the outback and not have to have so much traffic and everything, but just gonna have a look at the rest of how I did her hair last time. Make sure I get it all consistent. So yesterday I was I want to order some of my t-shirts again, so I can wear some of them. But yeah, the editor wouldn't actually let me upload, so I had to put that on stall. So I'll give that another go today. Obviously, it's already 12 o'clock, so when I mean today, I mean when I go to sleep and wake up again. But yeah, hopefully it lets me edit them when I wake up tomorrow and then I'll have a look at ordering some new ones, because I've got a lot of different new ones I have that I haven't actually purchased myself, so I'd love to be able to wear those, especially with summer coming. Murders, that t-shirt at the moment is fabulous. Oh, thanks. It's my ghost bunny. So he's got a bit of drool over there, and you've got the ghost bunny here on the shoulder, and on this side he's got the carrot. So yeah, I drew him. I'm pretty sure I drew him last Drawlloween. So yeah, I really love designing clothes and stuff based on my artwork. Really exciting. So yeah, the recent ones that I want to order, I think it's a Spider Girl. And I also have a Tiny Mermaid t-shirt that I want to order, so we'll have a look. Obviously I get a little bit of a discount if I order my own stuff, but still not super cheap. Murders, what site allows you to design on the sleeves too? So I design mine through a site called Printful. It's, yeah, most of them I think are done through Redbubble, but mine I do through Printful, and it lets me, yeah, it lets me edit a bunch of different designs. So I've been trialing this one for a while now, just because I don't like, if you buy them and they only last for a couple of days, which in some cases does happen. I ended up ordering $200 worth of watches once, and the ink just bled over everything. It was unusable. I couldn't sell anything. So that was a massive waste, but not everything ends up being like that. So you just gotta do a little bit of trial and error, see which companies work well, and just go with those. So I'm very happy using Printful. I've been, I guess, using them for quite a while now, and yeah, I think they're my favorite one. I think you can also create merch through Twitch directly, but I'm not quite sure how that works. And I'm very happy with the quality that Printful does, so probably will stick with them. Murders. I know sites like Redbubble and Teespring exists, but most of them allow one-sided without sleeves or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. I do have a Redbubble account, but I haven't really used them. I do know there are lots of artists who do use them, but they do take quite a large portion of the profit as well, which makes it hard to actually, it's not really worthwhile when you're using sites like those. Society6 is very similar as well, and yeah, it's hard because, well, of course they do need to take their cut because they are the ones printing and shipping it to customers, but it gets to a point where you just can't sell it to anyone for a reasonable price, really. So you gotta try and find that balance between not too pricey, but good quality. I'm really keen to start playing around with some more, I guess, interesting hairstyles as well. Probably do one of those for my next drawing and try and do something a little bit more challenging. Murders, life's all about balance. Exactly. Bank balance, indeed. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not an easy thing. But yeah. We are all very lucky in the Western world, though, to be able to, have the luxuries that we do. I think we take a lot for granted. And, obviously, everyone does have things to complain about, but I think we have a fairly easy life. Do you ever go traveling? I'm not really much of a traveler myself. I've traveled all over Australia, but not ever really been outside of Australia. At least not for fun. Murders. I used to when I was little with family, but not anymore. I get homesick pretty fast. Oh, yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Definitely. I know what it feels like. Got everything you need at home anyway, so that's awesome. Murders. I used to visit old castles when I was a wee lad. Oh, I love castles. Which ones did you get to see? That is so awesome. I really want to see. There's this really cool castle in France that I used to have as my desktop wallpaper that I'd love to see one day. And Scotland has a pink castle that I want to see as well. I think everyone wants to see the big ones, like the Neuschwanstein one in Germany, but I like the little ones. I find them adorable. Just want to live in a tiny little castle. Should have known that you'd be seeing castles, being such a folklore fan and everything. Murders. A lot of them. There's some even in Estonia and old mansions and such. That's awesome. You should show me some of the castles you get in Estonia. I've never really seen a proper castle. Obviously, we don't have any here in Australia. We only have, replicas and sort of like, I guess more like ones that you can use for photo shoots, but they're not really real castles. It'd be awesome to see ones in Europe someday. I don't think I'd ever really go though. If I did, it would probably be with my sister and boyfriend at some point. But yeah, not a lot of money to spend on everything. It all costs a lot, so. I do love watching a lot of these makeover shows that at times they do makeovers of these really old buildings, and it's so awesome to watch. They did one that's not a proper castle, but it's like a mansion of some kind, and it was huge. It was just massive. They had to clean the whole place because it had been abandoned for so many years, but yeah, once they did, it was drop dead gorgeous. I do. I follow this one artist on Instagram as well, and her name is Brett Manning Art, and she has this lovely old barn house that she renovated into a gorgeous new home now. She repainted the whole thing green, and it is just stunning. For me, I think that's sort of my house goals. One day I'd love to have a house like that. Meredith, Europe's full of castles probably no matter where you go, thanks to the warfare history. Yeah, I know. Well, at least something good came out of it. Not all bad. Been really trying to pay attention to how I do my line work lately. Trying to get it, I guess, just focus on what I'm doing and trying to pay attention to learn to control it a little bit better. Obviously, I'm working on the children's book that I'm going to enter into different agencies. So once I do, it needs to be extremely consistent. And so, yeah, that's very important to try and get that as close as possible and understand why I'm doing it rough and loose and why I'm doing it a little bit tighter. That makes sense? I'm not sure. As soon as you start working on something, though, that's, for something so important, you do start placing so much pressure on it. And I think you criticize it a lot more than you would normally, when you're looking at just a bland sketch like this one. I obviously don't critique it as much as I do when I'm working on something professional. And so you can get to a point where you're just overthinking everything and you're redoing and redoing it and you're still not happy. And I think to some extent, when that happens, it's partly because, you're growing and you're sort of pushing to a new level as well. Whereas if you're just comfortable, you're obviously not pushing to that extra limit. Um, but yeah, it's all just part of the process, and you gotta just get it done at some point and know that you can't have everything looking perfect all the time, but you can always improve, and especially when it's some of your, important pieces, it's worthwhile putting that extra effort in, redoing them and stuff like that. So, yeah, I have been enjoying it, but it's also been frustrating at times. So, Meredith, oh, a lot of good came probably besides that. As sad war is, war brings technological advancement, computers, fridges, etc. All were initially military stuff. Oh no, buffering for me again. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Hopefully it clears up soon. Is that, oh, good, it's back. Consistency is hard, exactly. Yeah, no, consistency is very difficult, especially if you're having things so side by side. It can be so tricky as well. But yeah, Murders, it's important to know when something is also finished. A lot of people want to achieve perfection and keep going at it. Exactly. Yeah, and I think, especially as an artist, you can get to a point where you don't do anything. You get into these slumps where, especially when you're growing, you look at your work and you don't like any of it, but you're not quite good enough to produce anything better just yet. So it does get hard, and you need to just go and push yourself and say, look, you know, 2 months from now I could be making something new and it could be a lot better than this is. And I could wait till I am better. But if I wait, I may never get there. And on the contrary, you can end up with all these great pieces if you keep on producing rather than just waiting till you're better. So it's just part of the learning process as well. I'm obviously one of my paintings I'm working on. It was my first ever oil painting. So I've done a fully fledged acrylic painting, but I haven't done a full oil painting from start to finish. So it's the first one, and I learned so much when I started it. But yeah, if I were to do it over again, I would save so much time. I would do so much faster, and so much different techniques I could use along the way as well. But I could have not just waited, and I wouldn't have had that painting. But even if I do see the flaws in it, of a couple of months later, it's fine because I'll create new ones as well that are improved. And whenever other people look at your work, they don't really notice as much as you do. I think we're always our worst critics. So whenever I want some good quality feedback, I always ask my mum because she likes giving it to me straight. She's very good at giving art critique, and yeah, she'll tell you straight up if something doesn't look good. But it's helpful because you don't want to just be creating pretty pictures for everyone. You want to be improving your technique and your skill set as well. So it's good to have someone who can keep you honest and yeah, just I guess help point out the flaws in your own work that you don't see at times. Meredith, yeah, but it's nicer to do something always. Redoing things wouldn't let you learn that much. Exactly. Yeah, no, that's very true. Flaws give flavor at times, as nothing in real life is unflawed either. Exactly. And I think, yeah, when you're creating, you start realizing that as well. And just realizing that there is nothing perfect. So, you know, it's just a matter of, well, this is life and everything is deteriorating, everything is in a state of chaos as well. So, but I think that's the beautiful thing about art is that art is beautiful in its own mess. So, as soon as a piece becomes too neat and too clean and too perfect at times, it loses its sense of value. You can often see, like, particularly, I like following Thomas Ascott's work on Instagram. And whenever I do, I just marvel at his ability to take the most simple sketches and somehow just, I don't know, make them look great. And they're unrefined, they're so raw and they're so loose, and they have just this beautiful sense of, I don't know, shape about them, I guess. And so, yeah, I guess if they were more refined, they wouldn't look like that at all. So, murders, haha, nice mom. Exactly, I'm very lucky. My mum was my biggest supporter while I was in school to become creative and pursue a creative career, and she still supports me every day. So I'm very, very lucky to have such a supportive mother in my life. I always think if it weren't for her, I highly doubt I would be creating at all. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I finished school. I originally just started studying languages, and I thought that I would want to become a linguist of some sort so I could do some translating and stuff. But that never really panned out because when I found uni, I actually found a graphic design course and I looked into that. And so when we moved to Adelaide, I found the illustration course, and that really interested me. And so that's how I became an artist, just by understanding that there is actually a career path in that you can pursue. So, but yeah, it's definitely not been a very straightforward path since I left uni. I think my style has changed a whole bunch. Not only that, but yeah, I've been through so many jobs since uni, and it took me a long time to be able to find consistency for my artwork as well. So yeah, but I think all artists kind of struggle with that, trying to find their style and find some consistency to be creative. Don't know if you guys can hear it, but it just started raining over here. Murders, are there state-sponsored artists in Australia too? Not that I know of. I don't think we have a whole lot of support for artists here in Australia like they do in Europe. For sure, I know it's a lot easier to get art jobs uh, if you are in Europe. There's a lot more, I guess, demand for that kind of thing as well, and bigger budgets. Because I know a lot of artists complained when they were living here and then they moved to Europe and they instantly were able to start kicking off their careers. So, yeah, we're definitely not a very art friendly nation. Not that we don't have a appreciation for art, we definitely do, but yeah, not a whole lot of support for, I guess, establishing an art career. But I have recently joined the Children's Illustration Society in Australia, so there are things like that you can join, and then you can attend a lot of different events from the locals, which is awesome. Meet other fellow artists and yeah, meet artists, meet writers, and also meet some fans if you can. But yeah, obviously I haven't been to any of those yet because COVID just crashed everything. It's just been Zoom meetings now, and I'm not too much of a fan of that. Don't mind Zoom meetings for work, but if I want to see some illustrations, I'd love to see them in person. Murders. Modern performance art gets support in some countries and such things. In Europe, it probably depends what country, what style. Exactly. Yeah, no, I think it, for the most part, the artists I know that have done that have been animators, and I think there's a larger demand for that in Europe than there is here in Australia. But of course, I think that just depends, really. So obviously, you know, it's not a given. You know, there are definitely ways to earn a living off your art in Australia as a professional as well. But yeah, it's just from hearing some artists say. I know one of them moved to Japan recently as well, and she's been doing a lot better since she's been over there. So it's definitely not easy to do. That's all. Veneer, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you? Feel free to let us know where you're from and introduce yourself. If you're not aware, I'm currently working on my Drawlloween sketch. So this is the fourth one that we're doing for October. Every year, Drawlloween means that artists get to do a prompt every day, and so this one is witch. And yesterday I had my little changeling. She's obviously not done yet, but we'll have a look at finishing her up at some other point. The day before that, we had pumpkin, and before that, the first one in Drawlloween was werewolf. So we've moved on now. We're now up to witch, so the fourth one in the line. Hopefully I can get them all done. That would be great. Don't you just love when Siri goes off when you don't need it? I always love when it's raining and I get to make art at night. It's so relaxing. Veneer, really cool, really clean drawings. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you like them. I'll be coloring these once I scan them in. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see the colored versions at some point. I'll probably be streaming that too, but I got to figure out how to stream from the iPad first. That's going to be a little bit different. Don't think the screen's going to show up as well on the camera, so we'll see. Where are you from, Vinero? Oh, you're from Brazil. That's awesome. I have a couple of gaming friends from Brazil, actually. Definitely gonna extend her lashes a little bit because the other one had, yeah, quite some more extended lashes, that's for sure. Hopefully that makes her eyes pop a little bit better as well. I feel like the wand might just not be, I guess, long enough, or it just feels a little bit, I guess, too thick. Might see if I can elongate it a little bit more and hopefully that'll help. I'm planning to do a winged pig for my winged prompt, which is also one of the Drawlloween prompts we have to do this year. So hopefully I can, yeah, I guess I could do this one. Do my little piglet and just have him flying around and stuff. That would be awesome. But yeah, we'll see. I've been hearing a lot of people saying that there's been an influx of people hopping on Twitch lately due to COVID. People are just wanting that sort of chat, I guess. I think that's pretty interesting. Apparently, Facebook hasn't got that much of an increase in usage though, which is hilarious. I'm glad though, because they tend to be quite greedy with everything and don't really respect people's privacy, don't really listen to what users want, so yeah. I'm glad they're getting a little bit of a backlash from the community. That's good. Definitely sucks that yeah, Facebook has the whole social media monopoly and Google has the web monopoly because yeah, it means that there's basically no competition essentially. Murders. Twitch doesn't listen to users either, forces ads and such nowadays. Yeah, that's true. Obviously, you know, I haven't used Twitch since the very beginning, so I don't know how it used to be. But no, I know there are definitely a lot of complaints, and apparently there's been a lot of harassment issues going on as well with some people, and not a lot of support to report that kind of thing as well. So, but yeah. I just definitely dislike Facebook for ruining Instagram and everything it's done with regards to, I guess, just how they use Facebook now is, yeah, I'm not a fan.